It wasn't the way I thought it would be. All those years ago, when the angel came to me in my parents' home in Nazareth, I was so excited. The angel said that I had found favor with God. He said that the God who created heaven and earth had chosen me to be the one to bear the Messiah. The angel said that the Spirit of God would overshadow me and create a child inside me, just like His Spirit overshadowed the earth at creation. I didn't understand how it would happen, but I wanted to serve Him. Before long, it became apparent that I was pregnant. I thought that if God was great enough to create this child inside me without an earthly father, that He would let everyone know that this was His special child. But He didn't tell my fiancé, Joseph, about the baby, or my parents, or anyone in the town. When Joseph first found out, he wanted to divorce me. It was awful. Then, something happened to change Joseph's mind. He began to understand about the baby, and we were married. I thought things would change for us. I thought God would bless Joseph's work and prosper him so we could provide a home worthy of God's Son. Joseph went to the synagogue and heard the words of the prophet Isaiah spoken about the coming Messiah. It sounded so fine. For to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. I felt sure that God would make a miracle to provide for his son. But he didn't. While I was visiting my cousin Elizabeth, I helped her weave the swaddling bands to wrap her baby. She had saved up and was able to buy a small amount of purple. We dyed some flaxen threads, and when we wove the bands, each piece had a purple stripe woven through it. When baby John was born, he looked so fine wrapped in those swaddling bands. I wanted my baby to be wrapped in special bands too. I prayed about it. Surely, God, you want your child to be no ordinary child born to a humble carpenter. Let him be wrapped in the swaddling bands of a king, for that is what he will be. I don't ask this for myself. It is for your glory. But God didn't provide any finery. The time was very close to give birth when we learned that we had to leave Nazareth to go to Bethlehem for the taxes. Oh God, I prayed, do you know the time has come for your child to be born? Do you see what is happening to us? There was nothing we could do. Joseph and I had to set out alone. My mother and sisters had to stay behind in Nazareth. Now who would deliver the baby? There was nothing we could do. The ride from Nazareth to Bethlehem was hard and slow. I was tired and scared when we finally found Bethlehem's inn. My back was hurting and the tightness in my belly grew stronger as the day wore on. When we arrived at the inn, the innkeeper said he had no room left to rent. He looked at us and at the money Joseph held out in his hand. Something like pity crossed his face, and he told Joseph to put away his money. The innkeeper's son cleaned out a stall for us, and he laid out clean hay. The innkeeper's wife gave us a blanket. I tried to get comfortable in our bed on the hay, but I couldn't. I was frightened. God could have made a miracle. How did we end up here so many miles from home all alone? I didn't want to feel like this. I hated acting like that, but I was frightened. I had never had a baby before. What if something went wrong? The more upset I got, the more worried Joseph became. He wanted to ask the innkeeper's wife to help me, but I was afraid for him to leave me. Not long after that, the baby was born. Joseph handed me our son. And as he stood to go out for water, the innkeeper's wife walked in with water and clean cloths. She stopped short when she saw us. There were tears in her eyes when she looked at the baby. He's come already, has he? "Oh, honey, he's perfect," she said. And as she knelt to tend to our needs, I prayed, "Thank you, God, for making a miracle after all."